Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to Coffee Talk. Welcome to my weekly horoscope / celebrity coffee talk. I'm April with astrology.com. How are you guys all doing? I see somebody talking about the Gemini New Moon. Yeah, we just had that new moon a couple days ago. So how's everybody doing with that? What are the effects? Anybody have any major things going on? Any major announcements? Any major life changes or anything? So let us know. Let us know in the chat if you did. So yeah, I'm doing this just a little bit later than usual because I had to give a ride to somebody somewhere, home from somewhere. So that's why this is a little bit later than usual time. Oh, hey, what's up, Miss Klasnier from Serbia? Hey, what's up? Okay, financial stuff for me, Taurus, Shiomara. Yeah, I hear you because it was in the second house for Tauruses, so that totally makes sense. So anyway, but moving on to this coming week, there's a lot of stuff going on. We're gonna be entering more of Cancer season. We already had Mercury enter Cancer, and that was just a few days ago as well. And then we have the sun that's going to enter Cancer. So I will go through every sign and let everybody know how it's going to affect them. Pretty much the sun's going to be in Cancer for a month. So whatever I give you as a horoscope, it's like that area of your life is going to be highlighted so much more than usual. There's going to be much more of a focus there for about 30 days. So, but there's also other aspects that we're going to go over as well. Then, yeah, we're going to go over the chart of Freddie Mercury at the request of, because there is a movie trailer out already for a movie of his. It's coming out in November. It's a biopic or whatever, however you pronounce it. It's a movie about his life, and it's really interesting. It's going to be a really interesting movie, I believe. So. Anyway, let's see. Emotional. The new moon was emotional, I bet. Money for Scorpio. Yeah, true. Scorpio, the new moon in Gemini was in the 8th house for Scorpio. So there could have been some changes with finances too. Totally. Yeah, actually, my rising sign is Scorpio, and the day of the new moon, I think, or the day after, the 8th house is taxes. And I got the surprise little check in the mail from taxes from the government. It was only $25, but I was like, okay. It was totally unexpected, a total surprise. But hey, money is money, so no complaints about that surprise. But yeah, that's the house of taxes. So that's, astrology is real life, you guys. Oh, Gemma, you're from Brazil. Hey, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Okay, so what is going on this week? Well, the only major event this coming week, which is I'm covering June 15th through the 22nd, is the sun moving into Cancer, but there's still a few aspects that are happening as well. Like actually the 21st is like a really poppin' day for astrology. There's like several different things going on that I'll cover. Oh, hey, what's up, Kimara? I hope you got my email, girl. And we'll be back in touch later today. Thanks for coming through to the chat. As always, Kimara is like always here, like dedicated. Okay, so what else is going on this week as far as the aspects? So on the 19th, we have Mercury trine Jupiter. So Mercury is how we communicate, what we're thinking about, the manner in which we are speaking, texting, typing, emailing. So that's what Mercury rules. And wherever Mercury is like also where you could be super busy, but it's mostly like matters of the mind and matters of communication. It's making a really good aspect to Jupiter. And actually, and then 2 days later, so that's on the 19th. And then on the 21st, Mercury is trine Neptune. Now, remember, when I give exact dates, that's the date that the transit is exact as far as the degrees. Okay, like Mercury will be at, probably like around 13, I'm assuming like 13, 14 degrees of Cancer. And then it's going to aspect Jupiter that's around that same degree of Scorpio. They're both water signs, so they make a trine. And then same with Neptune, it's at like 16 degrees of Pisces, and Mercury will be at 16 degrees of Cancer. So the days of the degrees being exact is when the transit is the most strongest. But we will still feel the effects, like even a few days before it and even a few days after that date. So with that being said, yeah, Mercury and Jupiter and Mercury and Neptune this coming week, the aspects are going to be very strong. And this is heightened intuition in many ways, especially because they're in water signs. The water signs are the most intuitive. And I know people say every sign can be intuitive, every element is intuitive in different ways. Yeah, but I'm talking about intuition, like things that you just know, things that, are unseen, like not always logical, not always tangible, but they are real. And there's, you just know that they are. And when I say intuitive, I also mean nonverbal communication. Like you can just know things, pick up on things, and not even have to really say, speak to one another. You just understand, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by intuitive. The water signs are definitely that. And so when we have Mercury in a water sign and it's making aspects to these outer planets in water signs, it's highly intuitive because the outer planets are further away from Earth, right? So the further away it is from Earth, the more it can see here on Earth. It's not as focused on just the material world. It's focused on everything beyond that. So with Mercury aspecting those planets that are beyond, we'll have more of the ability to see beyond our regular everyday material world, So that means things may not make sense, but you get a feeling about something and you know that it's right. Your spidey senses are tingling for a reason. It's that kind of intuitive abilities that I'm talking about. And the ability to tap into other people's energy, other people's thoughts, to really understand what they're saying on a deeper level, not just hearing words, jabber, jibber, dabber. No, it's, what they're saying, even the things that they're not verbalizing, what they mean by what they're saying, but not verbalizing. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, next week, the 19th and the 21st, especially, and around those days are really strong for, this heightened sense of like a sixth sense, of being able to just understand things on a different level. So it's really good times for several things. Well, number one, water energy is really creative. And so, and Neptune is very creative. Neptune is one of the planets that can rule the arts, and especially like the imagination, and Jupiter can rule the imagination in a way too. You can visualize things that are like way beyond Earth, and way beyond the norm. And it's about being a dreamer. Both planets, Jupiter and Neptune, are about being a dreamer. Jupiter is more about goals, like envisioning big goals for yourself and setting them up and saying, I am going to do blank. And you know how Jupiter rules Sag, and Sag is like the archer and the arrow and everything. It's that type of an energy. Like imagine yourself, you shoot an arrow, you say, okay, well, that's what I want. You're shooting an arrow at that goal and you're hoping that it lands there, And what's funny? Have you guys also noticed that when you go shopping for things, for like decorative things, and then if there's anything involving inspiration, there's an arrow, follow your dreams, and then an arrow. Okay, but that's because that's Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. It's like that's what one of the symbols for that energy is. So you know what I'm saying? So that's where our minds can be, is on those goals and dreams and thinking big. And Neptune can be about being a dreamer too, but Neptune, it has not as much of a sense of direction as Jupiter, you know? Neptune is like, I want to do this, and then it kind of like floats there in that want. You know what I'm saying? That feeling of wanting to do something and wishing and wanting. But Jupiter is like, yeah, I want to make this happen, you know? So those two energies combined with Mercury, that's where our thoughts are, and is very imaginative. So especially if you're an artist, if you're a creator, this energy is so bomb, like for your type of work, you know, or even if it's a hobby that you do, you'll be like having these superpowers almost next week. And even if you're not, you know, and you just do regular everyday practical things, well, your mind actually can wander a little bit more if you're more of a practical minded person. But allow it to, you know, because maybe you can incorporate some really cool new things into your practical world if you allow your mind to go out there and think, you know what, I can do this, you know what, I can do that. Jupiter is having the faith in what you want to do, and then Neptune is the dream, you know. So that combined with, you know, Mercury, you can really make some dreams happen next week. I'm just saying. So yeah, very creative energy, very intuitive energy. But yeah, I guess the worst part about it is just, like I said, if you're more of a, like if you work in the corporate world and you have to crunch numbers all day, or you have to really stay focused on things for a long period of time, then you may have an issue with this energy, because, you know, La La Land will be calling you. You know what I mean? So that's really the only downside to it, because these are trine aspects. And yeah, maybe people may be a little bit less focused on details and less aware of consequences, or they'll care less about consequences. You know, they'll just want to do what they feel. And maybe they can be setting themselves up for trouble, you know, if they're more of an impulsive person. That's probably another downside to these transits too. But yeah, I think it's an awesome time for creativity. And, you know, even if you're not creative, you don't really do anything, say like you're a stay-at-home parent or something, you know, or a stay-at-home grandparent, then this is an energy that can help you to tap more into the people around you that you care about and understand them, and maybe listen to them a little bit better. And if somebody needs a shoulder to cry on, or a listening ear, someone to give great advice and just have a lot of sympathy for them, then this is a good transit, even for just, you know, people like that, if that applies to you. Having more sensitivity, heightened sensitivity. Yeah. I mean, Mercury's in Cancer, which is sensitive enough already, right? And then Neptune is a very sensitive planet too. Jupiter, not so much. It's more, hey, you know, happy-go-lucky, optimistic. But anyway, those are the transits next week, the 19th and the 21st. And also on the 21st, though, we have kind of a tough transit at the same time. We have Venus in an opposition to Mars, a direct opposition to Mars. Wow. Okay. So Venus and Mars opposition, what's that going to be like? Well, Venus is going to be in Leo, and, you know, Venus rules the feminine. And Leo is a very strong sign. It's very fixed. It's very kind of demanding. You know what I'm saying? Like Venus and Leo women can be very much about like, I deserve this and that because I just do, because I'm me and because I'm great. And that's how, well, not just Venus and Leo women, but, you know, when I'm thinking of the feminine, like feminine energy mixed with Leo can be like that, is what I mean. And then we have Mars, which rules the masculine, and Aquarius, which Aquarius, it likes to treat everybody the same. Everybody's equal. Everybody's your friend. Everybody's just a fellow human being. Whereas Leo wants special treatment and recognition and appreciation and everything, and to be exalted up high on a pedestal and a pillar, like, oh, yes, thank you so much. Oh, I know I'm great. Oh, yeah. You know, that's Leo. But Aquarius looks at Leo like, who do you think you are? You're just like the rest of us, so just stop. So there can be an opposition there between the masculine and feminine that can be a little argument that sounds just like that. Like, stop trying to think you're all this and all that. Or back in the day, we used to say, All that and a bag of chips, especially on the Ricky Lake show. Did any of you guys watch Ricky Lake back in the day? Oh my gosh. I was a little kid, but I still watched it. You think you're all that and a bag of chips? Leo is like that, and Aquarius will be the one to say, to put Leo energy in check. You're not all that you think you are, okay? That crown is invisible. Just stop. So there could be some disagreements like that between people, real conversations that go along those lines. Or it could be like a humbling experience for people. Venus and Mars opposition of, just an internal thing where you're checking yourself on how humble you are, and how proud you are and how exuberant you are versus like, are you like a mellow, calm person that really treats people fairly and with respect? Or do you think you're above people? There's just, an opposition there between those two energies, So, Kimara, yeah, you love the Ricky Lake show. Oh my gosh, Simone. Oh, okay. I'm not going to repeat that, girl, but I just read wow, you guys can read what Simone said. Is that where that came from? From Ricky Lake? There was a lot of sayings. Ricky Lake had like the best audience, man, and the best guests that were like so flamboyant and just said like the funniest stuff, Part of like pop culture of the 90s was Ricky Lake. So yeah. I'm going to go look up episodes of that on YouTube when I'm done here. Just for memories. And, that also makes me think of Venus and Leo energy because it's very like, So while Venus is in Leo, maybe I'll go enjoy some little flamboyance from the Ricky Lake show episodes. Anyhow. So let me get a drink really quick, guys. You guys know me. I'm a Taurus. My throat gives me trouble when I talk a lot, okay? And this is my cup. I usually have a cup to go along with the theme of the transits and the energy of the moment. So this is my cup, my Unleash Your Inner Sparkle, because Venus is in Leo, okay? And Leo is all about that gold, that shimmer, that sparkle, and sprinkling glitter everywhere you go. It's all about that. So that's my cup for today. Let me see what you guys are saying really quick too. Excuse me. Yeah, so anyway. Okay. So yeah, dramatic. Shiomara says something about dramatic. Yes, Venus and Leo could be dramatic. And then you guys notice how Leo is dramatic, and then their opposite sign Aquarius is very just like no expression, no emotion shown or anything. While Leo is like going, woo! Aquarius is like, I don't see the big deal. I'm not impressed. So, whoops. Yeah. So anyway, that's how that energy is opposing each other next week. So yeah, on the 21st, it's very strong. I'm hoping there's not anything as far as globally like male versus female, masculine versus feminine things, although they can come up, maybe there could be like men jealous of women's success, or the opposite, woman, or there could be like women saying we deserve, or the feminine people ruled by Venus, or things that are ruled by Venus, people that are in careers that are ruled by Venus, standing up and saying, hey, we deserve to be treated better or in some kind of way. And then the masculine, which could be powers that be, a very strong masculine energy people can be like, no, you're nothing special. Like we all are treated the same equally, and there could be a conflict with that. Which we may see like in the news or on a more global scale, Aaron says Aquarius can be so whatever. Yes, they can't be. He said Leo has humbled me too in the past few years. Oh, interesting. So yeah, that's what's the aspects that are going on next week. And then of course on the 21st, the star of the week literally is the sun going into Cancer. So once again, wherever the sun is at, it is illuminating that area of your life. And when it goes into Cancer, well, as a collective, we'll be focused a little bit more on what Cancer rules, which is mainly family. And, this is the summertime in the part of the world that I live in, at least. And in the Western world, a lot of us, we celebrate things like Father's Day. It's summer break for kids out of school in a lot of areas. People go on vacations a lot during this time of year. So, that's all Cancer. Getting together with family over food, a bigger focus on food, a bigger focus on family history, family reunions, family, I saw a commercial actually the other day that one of those companies that do the testing for ancestry and DNA. One of those DNA testing companies, they have a sale for Father's Day, and ancestry and DNA and all that stuff is related to the energy of Cancer. So during this season, people may be a little bit more focused on like discovering more of their roots in some kind of way. And it could be through some of those methods like those DNA tests and everything, or maybe just, longing for that feeling of warmth and security that family is supposed to bring. Okay. Traditionally, family brings that, but family can be anyone. I'm very, I have Uranus in my first house and like some 11th house energy too. So and I have Aquarius as my 4th house of family. So I'm very much a believer in family does not have to mean necessarily just your blood relatives. Okay. Family can mean people that you've brought into your personal space and into your heart and everything, that they're not blood related, but you guys share a special bond and you know that you can trust them. You can depend on them. You feel secure around these people. You feel safe and protected, So when I'm talking about family, don't think I'm just talking about like your mom, your dad, your siblings, your whoever else is blood related, because there's a lot of people out there that have a totally different mindset and definition of family, especially Aquarius people, 11th house people, Uranus people, have a different view on it than others. So, yeah, when people are like, oh, family is everything. And if you're like, yeah, I can't relate, because maybe you don't really have a close bond or even know some of your blood relatives, well, just think of the other people you consider family, like very close friends or even your pets. They can become like family to you too, So just think of that, because I know around like the holidays, especially like Father's Day, Mother's Day, there's people that they feel some type of way because they didn't have a great relationship with those relatives, or maybe they don't have them around anymore, or they're distant, or they never knew them, So family can be your own by your own definitions. It's whoever is close to your heart, makes you feel secure. Whatever Cancer rules, whatever that energy makes you feel, like it's whoever gives you that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever you can give that feeling to. So anyway. Cancer definitely rules that. Cancer is a very nurturing energy. So we may feel a little bit more sensitive. We may feel more like giving and everything. People take a lot of things super personally when there's energy in Cancer too. Like, they may think that somebody's post on social media is directed at them when really it wasn't, I hear that all the time every year. I have a lot of Cancer friends and some family members, and they'll think, oh, you were talking about me, and I'm like, what? No. Or they'll message me. I post something, then they DM me or message me. They're like, was that post about me? I'm like, oh my gosh. No, it wasn't. I was just speaking in general. Oh my God. It wasn't about you. Stop your crying. But yeah, so people can, even as a collective, we all may to some degree feel a little bit more sensitive and like take things personally. So the good thing is, yeah, just like craving security, craving just warmth from others, and wanting to give to others and take care of them. I've noticed even like since Mercury's entered Cancer, I'm like, I want to get out in the kitchen and cook a little more, I want to, I'm just more family focused in a way, household focused, Cancer can rule your home too. And, wanting it to be the most comfortable, beautiful place that you love coming home to. If you go out, and work every day, go to school, whatever, come home, when you come home, you want to feel like that warm, comfy feeling, and Cancer rules that. Just yesterday, I went and I bought some new candles. I bought some new candles for the house. They smell good. And like, I took my time to pick them out because it's like, that's exactly what I was thinking about, because like I said, Mercury is already in Cancer. So that's where our minds are at. So when I was smelling the candles, I'm thinking, what do I want to come home? What, if I walk in the door, what's like a good smell, like be greeted with that makes you feel comfortable and, I just want to chill at home. What's going to bring that? Because there was a lot of them that smell good. Oh my God, this smells good. But what really smells like home? You know what I'm saying? So when the sun is in Cancer, it could be making us all kind of think about that stuff or focus on it too a little bit more. So let me see what you guys are saying real quick, and then I'm going to get into everybody's horoscope for the sun in Cancer. Okay. Yeah, that is true. On a negative side, Cancer energy can be very paranoid. It worries a lot, because it cares a lot. Lavender, you know what, Shiomara? I just got a lavender candle too. Bath and Body Works had a really bomb sale. So I bought one that was like lavender. And it really does smell good, like home, So, and everybody has their own sense of like what they think smells good. So if people are saying such and such smells good, and then you're like, no, it's not, it smells bad. Okay, everybody's sense of smell is different. And what your tastes are, it can depend on your Venus or your moon. You know what I'm saying? What you find to be comforting as a scent, So, just remember that before you start commenting. Like, yeah, because, okay, woods and amber. Okay, yeah, those are good smells. But to some people, they're like, no, that's gross. But look at your Venus sign to see what you may like. Because if you have it like in an earth sign, you may like woodsy, earthy, natural smells. If you have Venus in, and some Venus in Virgo people, or Venus in Capricorn, or Venus aspected by Saturn, they could be even allergic to strong smells or certain like perfumes and stuff, So maybe like, oh my God, candles, everything smells horrible. I just want the smell of air in my house, okay? Air and dust. Maybe not dust. I'm just exaggerating and joking. Hey, what's up, Monifa? Monifa, what's up? You know what? I still have to reply to your email, Monifa. I have not forgotten about you, girl. Okay. So I will definitely respond to your interesting emails. All right. So Venus and Taurus, Hey, I have Venus and Taurus too. Venus and Cancer in the house, Venus and Leo. Cynthia, tell us, with Venus in Leo, what kind of scents do you like? Like if you come home, what smells like home to you? What smells good? I would imagine Leo would maybe like, or fire signs like maybe more citrusy or more like happy, like smells or something. I don't know. Let us know if you're Venus and fire, like Cynthia. What do you like? I'm curious to know. Venus and Taurus. Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, Venus and Leo, you love, hey, Monifa just verified it. You love citrus and minty ones. Oh, wow. Interesting. Because they're really crisp smells that make you feel alive, and I feel like the fire signs really love to feel alive and energized. That's interesting. And I'm wondering if moon signs have something to do with that too. Like my moon is in the 5th house and I like citrus mint as well. But my Venus is in earth, so I like the earthy stuff. Interesting. Yeah, interesting, guys. Okay. So let me take a sip real quick of my water, and then I'll get into your horoscope for the sun in Cancer. Venus and Scorpio, you love patchouli. Oh, patchouli. Yeah, it's kind of an earthy sign in a way. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll do a separate video or chat on this some other time, because I just love that topic and I'll get like way too into it and turn the whole broadcast into what scents do you like, guys? Oh my God, I'm such a Taurus, right? Oh, the Thai. Okay, Simone, the vanilla and okay, Thai temple. So Simone, I know you live I think you live in Australia, right? Do they have Bath and Body Works over there? That may be a dumb question, but maybe not. Do you guys have Bath and Body Works? And if you do, there is a candle on sale right now that is called Thai something, or Thailand, and it smells like basmati rice, even though I thought basmati rice was more India, but it smells like basmati and coconut. It smells really good. So go check it out if you like those smells. Okay. All right, guys. So sun in Cancer. Now the sun will be in Cancer from June 21st until July 22nd, approximately. So during that time, all things Cancer will come. You may see more in the media, more things based on like cooking, even though, look, there's stuff about everything in the media all the time, right? But things are just a little bit more highlighted, especially when the sun is in a certain sign. Things about mothers and fathers and family and babies and nurturing and everything you may see more of. So it'll be there through about the 22nd of July. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So for Aries people, Aries rising, sun or moon sign, the sun in Cancer is going to be in your 4th house. So Mercury's already there. Okay. Mercury and the sun are hanging out there for a little while together. And so it's really like, especially for the first 2 weeks, the first week that the sun is in Cancer, Mercury is still in Cancer too. So there's like uber Cancer energy popping off. Like, so Aries people, you'll be like a little bit more on the sensitive side. You might be a little bit more low key, just wanting to hang out at home, and you'll be really focused on your house, and some Aries people actually might be moving. This is the 4th house season is the season of moving for a lot of people. So that's what you may be focused on, either moving or, looking for a home or selling a home or something like that. You may be more focused on your family, Aries. You may have family issues come up, just family focuses, to where maybe they need a little bit more of your extra time and extra attention than usual. Or you may be craving that. You may want to just be around people that you really know personally and that are your people. You know what I'm saying? So instead of like anybody else, it's just kind of like a casual acquaintance. You'll be like, I want to be around my core people that I trust and I know. So that's how Aries people may be feeling when the sun is in Cancer. And you may be focused on your own maternal instincts and them coming out and caring for and nurturing the people around you a little bit more. Or just craving more of that yourself from others. Like, hey, can you come over? I just kind of want somebody to be here with me. I don't want to be alone. I want, can someone make me food? You might be at your mom's or your grandma's house or family's house more than usual, Aries. So there's just a really big emphasis there. And just try not to take things way too personally. Like I mentioned earlier, especially like online, like, taking everything as a subliminal like shot at you or something. So that's for Aries people. So for Taurus, rising sign, sun sign or moon sign, the sun in Cancer is going to be in your 3rd house. So this is highlighting more of like communication, and you're going to be a lot more talkative because Mercury is there for the first week. Okay. Mercury rules communication. Mercury's already highlighting that 3rd house. Tauruses are probably like super chatty right now. My sun sign is Taurus, and yes, I am very much like that. I just have all these ideas going all the time. I just want to talk, and it's a good thing because of the type of work that I do is all about communication. So I feel more up to it right now. You know what I'm saying? So any other Tauruses out there, especially if you have a job in media, communications or whatever, you're going to be more focused on that, have much more energy to speak. But you may be a little bit more scattered though, Taurus, like starting something and then being all hyped about it and then like, having a shorter attention span. You'll probably feel so busy, like you have to run a lot of errands. It's either you will have to, like a lot of things just pop up. You got to run here, you got to run there, you got to do this. Or you'll create things that you have to stay busy doing, like, oh, I got to go here, I got to go there. Because your mind is so active, you just keep coming up with like remembering all these things that you'd have to do or that you want to do. So busy time for Taurus people. You can be much more talkative towards even people that you don't really know that well. And Taurus is, Taurus has Cancer in the 3rd house. So the way that Tauruses communicate is like Cancers, just generally speaking about Taurus, the sign, okay, in general. 3rd from Taurus is Cancer. That's how we talk, which means we don't really talk that much as other signs do. We're more like, I don't know, we could be a little more quiet and like introverted and think a lot before we actually speak. But while our 3rd house is activated by other planets, oh my God, we could be, this is the time of Taurus chatter boxes, okay? Hard to put your phone down, hard to stay off social media. But yeah, once again, if you work in any type of job involving communication, you will be on it, Taurus, on it, all right? Okay, Taurus moon friend got a new job. Awesome. Always busy trying to figure out how to make more money. That sounds very much like the Taurus energy. Yeah. What's up, Jason? Thanks for coming through. Okay, so next up is Gemini sun, moon, or rising. So the sun being in Cancer is going to highlight your 2nd house, Gemini, which is money for you. So Geminis are going to be more focused on getting that money. Okay, you guys are going to be probably working a little bit more. You know what? Also, you're going to be looking around you and seeing what you really want versus what you really need. Maybe getting rid of stuff, or maybe even buying more stuff, because the 2nd house is the house of stuff. Okay, things that you just want to buy, material things you accumulate, however, whenever, you know what I'm saying? That is the 2nd house. So Geminis may be wanting to shop more and like looking at their pantry and thinking, oh my God, it's a little too empty, or their fridge and being like, I got to stock up on food, And you guys, when it comes to work and earning money, you could be thinking of more ways to make it. You could be looking for another job, looking for another source of income, looking at your budget a little bit more closely than usual and seeing like, oh my gosh, are there any bills that I can get rid of? Or you may like create more bills for yourself because you want to shop a little bit more too. You want to buy some more stuff. So yeah, it's just a really big focus on your material world. It's not just only money. It's like even your bills. You can be looking at your resources, like what the electricity bill is, how much you're spending on that, or your water bill, and like, oh my gosh, how can I bring this down? What's this all about? So you could be like combing through like all of the bills in your mail or in your email or whatever, and just really taking a closer look at them this next month, So it really is about your finances and resources, Gemini. So utilize that time wisely, okay? Maybe looking at your investments, looking at your bank account, and are there any bank accounts that you can get rid of? Like, I just got rid of one. Well, they told me I have to wait till tomorrow to do it, but I just went to one right before I hopped on here to see if I can close the account because, I'm like, why am I still having this account open and you guys charge me like this really high monthly fee? It's just not worth it. Worth is the key word because the 2nd house is about worth and value. So are you getting your best worth and value out of certain things, Gemini? You may be really focused on that. Okay. All right. So next up is Cancer. Cancer rising sign, sun sign, moon sign. The sun in Cancer is in your sign, in your 1st house. So it's a really big focus on you. Okay. So that can mean on any level. That can mean on a physical level, you're looking at yourself in the mirror. How can you make yourself more fly? Okay. How can you make yourself look better, to feel more confident, to shine out there better? Because the sun shines, right? So when it's on you, that's what you want to do, is you want to radiate good energy out there. So how can you better yourself to be able to do that? So that could be like changes to your appearance. That could be changes to, if there's something within your personality that you feel like you can work on so that you're a little bit more of an attractive person overall, you can maybe be looking at that. You may just be like, hey, it's all about me. It's my birthday, or it's my birthday month, and I just want a lot of attention. Okay, so Cancer season, Cancer gang, Team Cancer. You could be all about that right now, Cancers. And yeah, you may just want the spotlight on you in some kind of way. And with the sun shining on you in your sign, it kind of is, you know? So yeah, with the sun in the first house, you could be wanting to look at your life overall, because the ascendant especially is said to rule the life path. So are you on a path that's like truly authentic to you, Cancer? You know, you could be really looking at that. And if you're not, well then, you know, what changes do you need to make so that you feel like you're able to be your truest self, you to the core? Okay. So let me see if you guys oh, Cancers are so kind. Yeah, they're very kind people. Unless, well, unless you cross them the wrong way. Unless you take advantage of them, then they could be the stingiest people ever, because they're like, why should I give to you when I was nice and you're mean? Okay. So yeah, for Cancer people, that's what it is. It's just a really big focus on yourself, you know, and being your best self. Okay. So next up is Leo. Leo rising sign, sun or moon sign. The sun in Cancer is in your 12th house. So what this is an area of your life that rules like reflection. It could be reflection on the past. It could be, yeah, just really, it's the sun is illuminating this area of your life that rules the hidden and the subconscious. Well, one of the areas that can rule that. And so because of that, you could be really in your own head a lot, Leo, especially during the first week of the sun in Cancer, because Mercury's also there. Okay, so it could be really have you thinking like about a lot of deep stuff, and sometimes like really deep emotional stuff, especially about your past. It could be past anything, past relationship, past trauma, past your childhood, you know, it could be any of that stuff. A lot of people do reflect back on their childhood when there's transits to their 12th house. Because the 12th, that makes an aspect to the 4th house, or the IC, which rules your early childhood, you know? And so that's what Leos could be doing. And, you know, this is, the sun is signed before yours, Leo. So, you know, when it's the sun in your sign, I mean, you come to life, right? And you're just like all about the fresh and new, brand new beginnings, brand new everything. But before that, you have to finish things up. You have to tie up some loose ends. So with the sun being in the 12th house, the sign before yours, that's what you're doing so that you prepare for a brand new 12-month cycle once Leo season begins, you know? So you could be like just finishing up some old things. Maybe, you know, you're another sign that might want to be just a little more low key. All the fire signs are right now. Maybe not as expressive and exuberant as usual. It's just like, oh, you know, you're a little more calm, want to be alone a little bit more. Maybe people ghost off of social media a lot when there's transits to their 12th house, I've noticed. I don't know, they're just kind of like on the solo tip a little bit more, because there's a lot on your mind that's like emotional, you know, and you don't really always want to talk about it or express it. And I know that does not sound like fun, Leos, okay, but fear not, because Venus is in your sign. So Venus will have you still being a little bit of the life of the party and feeling good. It's not all emo, but still, you may feel like, woo, hey, what's up, guys? I'm here. But then at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I'm kind of drained. I just kind of, you know, I had a really good time today, but I need to like kind of recover for a few days before I get back out there and be social again. So it's a time that you could be a little bit more resting and wanting to relax. And yeah, you can be kind of easily drained and tired, because especially this is your ruling planet, Leo, your ruling luminary rather. So it's going into this area that like is hidden, and it's like really deep water, you know, so the sun like sinks down in this deep water and it's kind of chilling down there. So that's what can happen, you know, when the sun is in your 12th house. But it really is a time of reflection. If it is a lot of emotional stuff, you know, don't allow yourself to drown or feel like the victim or anything like that for too long, because Leo season is going to start coming through, like the sun is coming through, like all up in my grill right now. And then you guys can feel a little bit more alive at that time, okay? But you kind of got to chill out first, all right? So that's for Leo people. You know what? This is going to bug me. I think I need to adjust the blinds a little bit. So pardon me for a second, guys. This is like going to be like all up in my eyeball any second. Hold on 1 second. My bad. All righty then. Okay, so that was for Leo. Let me put my mic back. Okay. So next up is Virgo. Virgo, sun, moon, or rising. How is the sun in Cancer affecting you guys? So this is going to be in your 11th house. So this is the house of your friends and groups of people that you associate yourself with, you know. So that's like your fellow aliens, as I call it. That could be your fellow like-minded individuals, you know. So you will want to just be more connected to those people, networking with people. It could be that you are having more of a presence on the internet, and it could be that Virgo people are doing stuff to be on the internet, like actually putting out projects, or you know, building websites at this time, or like building networks, like building social media groups. It could be like hold on a second. This is like freezing up. Can you guys still see me, or is it like frozen on your end too? Or is it just my computer that's showing me as frozen? I don't know. Let me know in the chat, you guys, before I keep rambling on. I don't want Virgos to miss out on their horoscope. Okay, I think I'm on. Okay. So anyway, Virgo, yeah, you guys, this is a time when some people, they gain a large following on social media, or larger. They're focused on that, or they can actually build like an online group or an online forum or something, or find more people that are into the same things that they are, you know. And so that's what Virgos could be really focused on. Now, Virgos, you can also be focused on building networks of people that are very supportive of you too. You know, they say the 11th house can rule gains, but I feel like it's like you can gain from other people, meaning you have people that, like, you know, people that are connections to things. You know what I'm saying? Say, for example, you want to become a chef, right? Now, you can go out and you can start networking and getting to know other people in the food industry, and maybe they have the inside scoop on some information of how to connect you with the warehouses or places that you can buy the right materials, or how to contact a certain, like a builder to build a restaurant, or you know, or just be connected to other people in a certain common interest that you have, or even a business that you have. Like, start, you know, you can benefit from people by that. Like, they have knowledge and experience, and you can be like, oh, okay, you know. Or if you know them and you're connected to them, you can mention to others, yeah, I'm connected to so and so, you know. A lot of people call that clout. Okay, you're connecting yourself to somebody that has clout, you know, so you could be recognized in that way. Hey, sometimes that does help boost business for people, you know, as long as it's done the right way, ethical way. I mean, there should be no issue with it. But that's could be the 11th house. So Virgos could be focused on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, building that kind of, you know, networking with other people. Or it could just be friends. Okay, Virgo, you could just be really focused on your friends. I want to hang out with my friends, or even just one friend, you know? Like, I just feel like I want to be around people that are like me. Like, you know, if you're a Virgo, and Virgo's the sign of work, so you guys usually have jobs where you work very hard, or you're like in a corporate environment, or an environment where it's like very uptight, you know, and you have to be perfect all the time. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Oh, I'm right on top of that, Rose. If you know what movie that's from, let me know. But a lot of times Virgos are in that situation for their work. And then when you get out of work, like, what if you want to be just your goofy self? Can you be like that with your coworkers? Maybe not. So you want to be around people that you can be yourself with. So that's kind of 11th house themes too. So that's how Virgos may be feeling over the next month as well, you know? So that's for Virgos. So next up is Libra. Libra, sun, rising, or moon. How is the sun in Cancer affecting you guys? So this is in your 10th house. So Libras are going to be very much more take charge than usual. Libra people can be very, you know, I don't want to say, what's the proper word? Libra people can depend on others and have to connect with others a lot of times in order to get things done or to get where they want to be, you know, because they're the sign of partnership. So a lot of times you guys need to partner with someone to be like, to feel confident, you know. But when the sun is in 10th house, this is all you. This is you having your own sense of, like, a better sense of authority and power, you know. So power within yourself to do what you have to do in the world. That could be with your career or whatever, to get things done. You feel a little bit more take charge, you know, like you could just jump out there and just do it without others telling you what to do or how to do it. You feel more, yeah, more of a sense of authority, and more like you have it all together. It's the house of like maturity and you know, parental figure and authority figure type of an energy. So you'll definitely be feeling that, Libra. As far as the career aspect, yeah, you guys can be more straight shooters and straightforward and like straight to it when it comes to career and work. So you guys could be performing a little bit better at work. You guys, especially if you're looking for a new career, this could be a time when you figure things out, you know, as far as career. So yeah, Libra people, this is a good time for you to be recognized a little bit more, especially publicly or by other authority figures that are above you or people who are higher ups in greater positions in your field. The only thing I would say is, like, you guys can be a little bit more bossy at this time. You know, Libras usually are not. Libras are like people pleasers. You're very considerate of others and how they feel. But at this time, you could be like, no nonsense and just kind of talking in a little bit more of a bossy, authoritative tone. So you may have to watch that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not like the king of the world, okay? Like, you may talk like you are and others will be like, who do you think you are, Libra? So yeah, but it could be a wonderful time for career, a wonderful time for recognition for whatever it is that you do in life. So yes, so that's for Libras. So next up is Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. How is the the sun in Cancer affecting you guys? So this is in your 9th house. So Scorpios, you could be focused on travel. Okay, during Cancer season, you could be traveling or just wanting to get out and explore the world, feeling more adventurous. Like, you don't want to sit around at home. You don't want to just do the same thing that you always do. You want to explore different, okay? So a lot of people do that through travel, or this is said to be the house of higher education as well. So Scorpios, maybe you want to start learning something or go back to learning something that you kind of left hanging, you know, because you had to shift your focus elsewhere. But now you want to go back to learning something deep. And Scorpios are all about like deep knowledge too. So you could be focused on that. And you could be focused on maybe whether or not to go back to school or something to do with schooling. You could be really like looking at that a lot more clearly, or just, you know, like I said, really like zoned in on it at this time. Yeah, it could be a lot of Scorpios could be, you know what? I have a couple of friends that I suspect to be Scorpio risings, and they've been posting the last like couple days since Mercury's been in Cancer. They're like, I'm on vacation for a week, vacation, all this stuff about vacation. And I'm like, see, that's how you can kind of tell someone's rising sign. Like, if you already suspect they're a certain rising sign, if you watch the transits and they kind of go along with that person and like what they're doing around certain times of year, then you can kind of have it like confirmed and verified. So yeah, and I'm also a Scorpio rising, as you guys know, and I will be going on a couple of vacations during Cancer season, to 2 of them. So, and I do notice the pattern around this time of year of travel during Cancer transits. So this could be when Scorpios really feel like, I want to see more of the world, okay, or at least go to another state. And not just like sit here, you know, doing the same, going the same old places. Now, if you're not traveling out of state or out of town or anything, Scorpio, just around where you live, you may look at places that you've never been and be like, you know what? I've never been there. I want to check it out. even in your neighborhood or in your city. Or you may just feel like being more outdoorsy, just getting out and exploring the world. You know what's another thing that people do when there's a transit to their ninth house is I find them, well, first of all, the bad side is they could be a little more preachy than usual, okay, and become Mr. or Miss motivational speaker of the world, okay, thinking that they know everything because the ninth house is wisdom. And yeah, you can feel a little bit more wise and knowledgeable, but just try to like not be on the preachy tip, Scorpio, to where it's annoying people. But what was I going to say? Yeah, you can feel much more grateful for just living life, like just a little bit more happier. And Scorpios, I'm sure it's going to be a sigh of relief when the sun goes into Cancer because number one, it's a fellow water sign. Number two, it is in an area that's like totally different from where it was in Gemini, which is your eighth house. The eighth house is more like dark and brooding and hiding away, you know, like being more emo and covering yourself in a black hoodie. Nobody see me. But then the ninth house sun, you know, when it transits there, it's like, bing, you know, you take the hoodie off. Hey guys, it's me. I love life. So that's what it is for Scorpio. Oh, hey, what's up, Arc? Arc says that her Scorpio rising boyfriend has been on that tip the whole week. Wow. You wish he would shut up. That's so funny. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So kind of preachy, right? Because Mercury's already in Cancer in the ninth house. So yeah, Scorpios, save the preachy stuff. Okay. All right, guys. So next up is Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. So how is the sun in Cancer affecting you guys? So this is in your eighth house. So Saggies, you and Scorpio are kind of like trading a little bit because Scorpios are going to feel more like you guys, okay? They're going to feel more happy-go-lucky. Everything is awesome. There's no worries in the world. Then you're going to feel a little bit more scorpionic and emo and like painting your nails black and putting that hoodie over your head and like, you know, closing the hood, one eyeball peeking out, you know, I don't trust anybody. I'm exaggerating a little bit, just a little bit. But you guys will be having the sun in an area that has you more in deep thought though, you know, and Sagittarians love deep thought in the mind, like traveling way out there to think about like different things. So you will be wanting to explore your mind a little bit more, maybe diving deep into topics and subjects that you already have interest in. So like, instead of just like, oh yeah, that's cool, and then moving along, you'd be like, oh, that's cool, but what else is within it? And then what else can I find out? And what other details? So that could be a good thing. It's a good time to be more investigative about things that interest you, you know, just don't be on that stalker tip, Sag. That's all we ask of you, okay? But the sun in the eighth house, it could be illuminating your eighth house with dealings with money that you owe others or that others owe you. So you could be focusing on your debt and your credit at this time. You could be focused on your taxes. You could be focused on renewing insurance or updating like your will or your estate or, you know, matters of money like that, right? Or it could be you looking into more ways that you can accumulate money. I don't want to say money through others, you know what I'm saying? Like you just putting everybody to work for you, but it could be more money that you can make with less effort put in. I'm not promoting laziness either. Okay. What I mean is eighth house making money can be you creating something and doing a lot of work one time. And then from there, you keep receiving income from that one thing you created at one time. Just like artists out there, they create their art, like, excuse me, they create their music or a song or a movie or something one time. And that one thing can keep generating money for years. You know what I'm saying? So you could be focused on how can I make money in that kind of a way? So that's also eighth house. The eighth house is also intimacy. So yeah, you could be focused on like an intimate relationship or really just be craving like more of a stronger bond with somebody, you know? instead of just surface level, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, you're cute. Yeah, you're cute or whatever. Okay. It's like, well, what else is there to you? Like, do you have any depth to your personality? What are your fears? What are your, you know what I'm saying? Like much deeper questions that you want to ask other people and that you want others to ask you, like in one-on-one conversations, you know? So it could be you like coming out of the shadows with who you really are to somebody that you really trust or people that you really trust. And wanting to like stick with those people that you really trust to have those like deep conversations. Could be there's a lot of deep stuff on your mind that could be like traumatic or just too deep for the average person to handle. And you want to talk about those things though, you know? So yeah, that is for Sagittarius. Okay, so next up is Capricorn, sun, rising sign, and moon sign. The sun in Cancer is in your 7th house, which is highlighting your relationships. Okay, so what this could be doing is a few things. If you're already in a relationship, Capricorn, this could be you really just focused on it a little bit more, thinking about your partner more, wanting to spend more time with them, looking at the relationship, even the things that are not going as great, like what are the issues within it that can be corrected? And Capricorn is all about corrections, right? So what could be corrected? What could be fixed to help you guys to move forward, to have a better relationship with each other? It could be focused on the good things too, just like bragging about your babe. Okay, Cappies usually are not the bragging sign, but if you're a Capricorn and then you have other signs a little bit more like prominent in your chart to where you can kind of be more expressive, you can be like that during this time. Like, everybody look at my babe. My babe is the best. We're a power couple. We're building an empire together. Okay, so you could be more focused on that. Now, if you are a single Capricorn, you may be craving partnership. And Cappies are a very self-sufficient sign, as all the earth signs are. And they don't like to always admit that they need someone or that they want someone there for them. So you may not be like verbally saying, I really wish I had somebody, but you'll be thinking and kind of expressing and hinting at it a little bit, like telling your friends, hey, let's go out to, you know, such and such place where I can scope out some honeys or something, you know? And your friends will be like, who are you, Capricorn? You're like, what? I just feel like looking. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You'll be feeling a little bit more single to mingle at this time, Capricorn. And, you know, if it's not like being all lovey-dovey, you just maybe want partnership. Like you want you just want more conversations with people. Like you want to, one-on-one, just like talk to people or say, hey, run with me to the mall really quick, friend, you know, so-and-so, run with me to the bank. Like that way I just have somebody next to me to chatter with a little bit. And, you know, you won't want to be alone as much when the sun's in your 7th house. Okay, so next up is Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. The sun in Cancer is highlighting your 6th house, which is, it could be your job, you know. So some of you guys will really be focused at work a lot more. So some of you guys will be like, oh my gosh, work is crazy. I always hear people say that when the sun is in their 6th house, work is crazy, because yeah, you can be actually busier this time. You can actually be working overtime, or they may have more demands on you because this is the spotlight on you within the workplace. So you could be recognized in the workplace a little more, but maybe it won't be as like grand, like, you know, giving you an award or promotion or anything, but it could be like, hey, you Aquarius, you're really good at what you do. Here's more work. Okay, thank you very much. Then you're like, okay, thank you, I guess. You know, then you find yourself working more hours. Okay, so oh, peace out, Monifa. All right, I'll talk to you later, girl. I'll be emailing you too. So thanks for coming through. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry, Aquarius. So Aquarius, yeah, focus on work a lot. And maybe you guys can be focused on finding a new job. Maybe you're looking around because, you know, the sun shines a big flashlight. What's going on in this area of life? And maybe you start to look at your job like, I think there's something better for me out there. I think I'm worth more. I think I could just do like this work somewhere else for more money, for example, you know? So you could be really focused on that. This is also the house of health. So, you know, this is like you guys could be really focused on your health a little bit more, like looking at your health and your habits and being like, well, you know, I'm thinking about changing my diet, or I've already been thinking about it, but now I want to take action because the sun is a very action-oriented planet. It's masculine energy, which is, you know, very strong. So you could be like, okay, now I'm really going to start this diet, or I'm really going to start hopping into the gym or back into the gym. Maybe you start to see like a health issue. Maybe you've had like something bothering you for a while, Aquarius, and now you see it a little bit more clearly. You're like, you go to the doctor and finally figure out what's going on, you know, so you can correct it and feel better, you know, because the sixth house is about feeling good inside and out. It starts with the inside and really recognizing that and how your body works, you know, as a machine or whatever. So yeah, so that's for Aquarius. Okay, so next up is Pisces, sun, moon, or rising sign. The sun in Cancer is in your fifth house. Lucky, lucky Pisces. Oh my gosh, because this is the fun area of life. This is the fun in life. So this is a fellow water sign, which is a complementary energy to you. So you may feel a little more energized too. Pisces is a sign that rules sleep, and Pisces usually have lower energy than their signs. They sleep a little bit more. But when the sun is in your fifth house, you will be like, hey, I am awake, okay? And I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to have some fun. So this is the house of showing off. So if you have creative talents, which most Pisces do, that's what you may want to do. You may want to show them off. You may feel a little bit more regal, okay? Like a Leo. Like everybody needs to see all of this wonderfulness, okay? So you can have a little bit more confidence in yourself when the sun's in your fifth house. You can be focused on romance too. So you want to feel a little bit more romantically connected to someone, or maybe a few someones, because this is like more fun, casual dating rather than like the commitment and all the hard work of a relationship. You want like the honeymoon stuff, you know, just going out on dates and laughing and having a good time and just your heart lit up, you know, and excitement and joy from like getting a text from somebody that's very sweet, all that stuff. You'll be maybe doing that a little bit more too, like a lot more expressive romantically, and you'll be craving that too. So yeah, so Pisces people, the creativity will be on point, okay? And so if you have like a job or a hobby or something that you do that's creative, then this is the time to really show your stuff. You can be focused on your kids. If you have children, you may want to spend more time with them. You may start looking at them like a little bit more clearly, if that makes sense, like really paying attention to them. Not that you don't already, you should anyway, but you may really start to look at them like, you know, and just having more conversations with them, especially during the first week of the sun in Cancer, because Mercury is there as well. Okay, so you're just talking to your kids more and like, you know, seeing what they need, what is there anything they're going through that you need to be there for them, or having fun with your kids, getting out and hey, let's get out, do this, that, whatever. That's very true. That's very true. You know, you guys, some of you guys know, my moon is Pisces, and so that means the sun is like fifth from the moon, and the moon does rule like motherhood and stuff. And yeah, I will be going on a trip with one of my kids during the sun in the fifth house, you know? So that is like having fun out with your kids. So that could be a pretty awesome transit for Pisces people. Lucky, lucky, lucky. The only thing I would say is like don't be too high on your soapbox, like that old saying, on your soapbox, meaning like think you're all high and mighty and you're all of that in a bag of chips, like the Ricky Lake show. And to where people are like rolling their eyes, like, really, Pisces, you're not all that you think you are. Okay, calm yourself down and be humble. All right, that's really the only downside to the fifth house being highlighted. So yeah. Okay, so that's it, you guys, for the weekly horoscope. So if you're going to tune out because you don't really want to see the celebrity portion of this, then I will hopefully see you guys next week. Hopefully you'll be here. And don't forget to hit me up, astrolada.com, to schedule a reading with me. And yeah, okay, I'm not going to say anymore, but yeah, make sure you go to schedule a reading with me. I would love to read for you. Okay. So, oh, also don't forget, I still have the Uranus webinar, the Uranus and Taurus. Hey, we're going to be having some aspects to Uranus popping off. Uranus will be going retrograde soon. So, you know, go and check out the Uranus in Taurus transit. And let me know if you guys are already like seeing some Uranus and Taurus effects around you. I've noticed a lot of them in like pop culture, like our society, like things that are trending and booming are associated with Uranus and being in a certain sign. I'm gonna do a separate something on that another time to let you guys know what I've been seeing, because it's like, it's really eye-opening, like, wow, like how real astrology is when you pay attention to stuff like that, to trends. So anyway, all right, now let's get into coffee talk. Let's get into the celebrity stuff. So per a viewer request, we are getting into the chart of Freddie Mercury. Now, I really do try to stick to like who is everybody talking about right now, or the season of certain signs, like focus on someone who is of prominent energy of that sign, exudes energy of that sign. And at first I was like, well, Freddie Mercury, you know, I know there's a trailer out for a movie that comes out like, what, like 5 months from now. But you know what? He does fit into, Venus is in Leo right now. And he's like very Leo. He's very Leo. I know his sun's in Virgo, but we are going to dive deep into his chart, and I will show you guys how and why he's very Leo. He was a showman through and through, like putting on these big performances and like shows for people, you know. He was all about that. So we'll see why that is. But Venus and Leo, you know, Venus can be what we're enjoying and entertainment and stuff. And Leo is really big and showy. You know, it's, I don't know why I can't think of the other words besides that, but you guys know what I'm saying. Leo is all about that. So, excuse me. Let me take a drink really quick, and then I'll get into that, get into his chart. Oh, Ark says she doesn't know who Freddie Mercury is. Okay, so if you guys don't know who he is, she's like, he sounds scary. Oh my God, girl, you're so funny. Okay, so Freddie Mercury, he is a singer in the band Queen. Now, Queen was really popular mostly during the 70s. So if you're like, oh, I don't know who they are. Well, have you heard the song We Will Rock You, or We Are the Champions? Okay. Also Bohemian Rhapsody, the song that they're singing in the car on the first original Wayne's World. Sorry, those are all songs by Queen. Another one, Bites the Dust, is Queen. What was the other one? Under Pressure. The song that sounds like Ice Ice Baby, that Vanilla Ice sampled it, okay, and tried to deny that he did. Those are all songs by Queen. So that's who Freddie Mercury is. Kimara says he was a remarkable singer and human being. Yes. Okay, so you guys, when I do these celebrity charts, most of the time what I do is the day that I'm going to come on here, I will listen to interview after interview after interview and documentaries, if available, of the person or people that I'm going to talk about. That way I can get a feel for their energy, and also to see, does the chart that's like shown online, if there's like one that has a birth time, like does it match up with their personality or no? Because astrotheme.com is usually like the source for celebrity birth charts, but they're not always correct. You have to look at the source of the information that they got, you know what I'm saying, to come up with like an ascendant sign and everything. So what I found with astrotheme is that I don't think they're correct. I got a feel for his energy. I watched interviews with him and about him and documentaries all freaking day, right? And it just doesn't really fully match up what they put on astrotheme. And I'll show you guys right now. Okay. So Freddie Mercury, yes, he was Virgo. And oh my God, there's so many interesting things about him that are related to astrology, you guys. It's so dope. Okay. So his name is not really Freddie, or last name is not Mercury. It's Farouk, I believe. Oh, I forgot his last name. Bulsara or something like that. He's actually, I hope I don't get this wrong because there was a few different things mentioned. He's actually from, who cares about celebrities charts? Well, if you don't care, you don't have to watch. This is how we are showing how astrology works, by showing well-known people whose lives are on display. And we can look at their birth chart and say, oh, that's why they are the way that they are. Okay, that's the whole purpose. If you don't like celebrities, bye, girl, okay? Because that's what we do here every week. So anyway, he was actually born in what? Okay. Oh my God, I wrote it down. Where was he born? He was born in Zanzibar. Zanzibar. Okay. And he's actually of Indian descent, or he was. I think they said his parents are something else, some other nationality or culture or whatever ethnicity, but they lived in India. So they went from India to Zanzibar, and Zanzibar is where he lived, or where he was born. And then from there, they migrated to Britain. Okay. And that really makes sense when we look at his chart. But so his name, he adopted the name Freddie, right? The first name Freddie. He like just changed it to that. And then Mercury, he even said he changed it because he's a Virgo, and Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo. Okay, isn't that's so cool? Another interesting thing that has to do with astrology is one of his bandmates was studying to be an astronomer before he joined the band, or while he joined the band, or whatever. He was studying to be an astronomer. And I think that's the same bandmate that ended up getting an asteroid named after Freddie Mercury. There's just so much stuff with astrology with this guy. It's so cool. Another thing is, excuse me, his the symbol for Queen for the band, it has two lions, a crab, a phoenix bird, and then like the Virgo symbols of like the Virgin or whatever, because that symbolizes each member's sun sign. And Freddie created it. So he was like in tune with astrology. So dope, man. Oh my gosh. Okay. So anyway, let's get along with his chart and everything. So Freddie Mercury is a Virgo sun, but what's deeper beneath the surface though? Because he was totally Virgo. We could see that, you know, he was a bit shy off stage. He had Virgo is a sign that rules habits, right? And then Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which rules the hands. And a lot of mercurial people, especially Virgo and Gemini, they are really prone to habits that have to do with their hands, like smoking cigarettes. And if you watch a lot of his interviews, he's always smoking a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Always having to be doing something. So that's totally his Virgo sun sign. They did say he was a perfectionist as well. So anyhow, let me pull up his chart. Now let's look at Astro Theme real quick. I'll show you guys Astro Theme, their version of his chart. And then I'll show you the version that I came up with by really studying him personally, okay? Okay, can you guys see? So this is his chart on Astro Theme. The source that they got for it was not a super reliable source, okay? It was like somebody that said, they just said, oh, Freddie says that he is a Virgo rising. But I think in an interview before, he said Virgo is his rising planet. And that's where they got that from. There's no birth time on his birth certificate. I've already looked. Okay, I did some Scorpio investigating. No birth time. So this is what they have him as, a Virgo rising, because of that comment. And they just kind of guesstimated that he could have the sun here. But you see, if you watch him, he's very Leo. He's all about the big show, the big performance, the big, that's what he wants it to be, a presentation. And they said that he loved the lights and the flash and glamour and all that stuff. And that's very Leo. So what I came up with is, okay. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Okay. I don't know what happened here, but I'm going to pull it up again. What I came up here, this is his Placidus chart. I was like, played around with the chart a little bit. I believe that he could be a late degree Leo rising. Okay, because he's very Leo, very Leo. And that would also put his moon is definitely Sagittarius. Now he was born on a day. Hold on, let me adjust the microphone real quick. So he was born on a day when the moon changed signs. So he could have been either a Sagittarius moon or a Capricorn moon. Now, when watching him, he's definitely a Sagittarius moon. Everybody said he lived life to the absolute fullest, just like a Sagittarius. They on his memorial, they put lover of life, singer of songs. Lover of life, that totally sounds Sagittarius to me. Also, I've noticed that Sagittarian people, ninth house people, Jupiterian people are the ones that have dimples. Okay. And he has dimples. So he's definitely a Sagittarius moon. So I saw somewhere that he was very close to his mother when he was very small, like really attached to his mom. That sounds very fourth house to me. So I put his moon right here in the fourth house. Okay. But using the whole sign chart, which I hope this will pull it up. Come on, Astro. Okay. Here's the whole sign version of his chart, because you guys know I use both house systems. That would put his moon actually in the fifth house, in the fifth sign from Leo ascendant. And that would give me even more showy qualities, like wanting to put on this big, performance all the time, and liking to be dressing a little flashy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I came up with this. And there was another astrology site. I think it was Alyssa Sharp's website, to where they also had him as a Leo rising. And I was like, okay, I think this makes a little more sense to me. Okay, so he had a voice range to where he could sing rock, but he also sang opera. He also did opera too. Now I noticed that people who have a really big voice, booming voice, or it's like it has a really wide range, they have Jupiter in their second house. He would have Jupiter in the second house if he was a late degree Leo rising. Okay. They also said that he was kind of impatient, and that would be first house energy, or Aries, but he has this would be planets in his first house. Also, he said Mercury is his rising planet. Well, he would still have Mercury here in his first house. So that would actually make sense of what he said. Mercury rising, right? So Mercury in the first house people, they are kind of nervy. They get bored easily. And I heard all these interviews of him. He would talk about how easily he could get bored. Okay. So this would be Mercury in the first house. So his name was definitely fitting. And the name his stage name, definitely fitting, right? And then Sun in the first house means I want to be seen. I want to perform. I want to show off. The Sun wants to beam itself out there to everybody when it's in the first house of the self. So also second house does deal with the voice. And he has all these planets here. Neptune, Mars, Venus, and Jupiter conjunction can also be somebody that they live their life to the fullest, so to speak. Like they live it in a very Jupiterian way. They can do life in excess, like just really feel like they want to live. They want to not just exist, but live and experience everything. And so they can kind of do it to the ultra mega maximum. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it can get them in a little trouble, which actually that did happen with him, with this Venus Jupiter conjunction, and also the moon in Sagittarius. That's very much like just, jumping and flying and doing what you want to do, and there's no rules and no limits to things, no boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So that's how he lived life, because of this Jupiterian Sagittarian energy. Now, also what I noticed is, so like I said, the second house rules the voice. So he could have this second house stellium here with the Placidus version of his chart. Now let's look at the whole sign version. It put all of his Libra planets in the third, and third house energy is still very mercurial in nature. It still gets bored easily. It still talks a lot. It still like has to keep things moving. And he was very mercurial. So this could have also, added that flavor. And also the second house ruling the voice, he would have Mercury in the whole sign second house, and the sun there too, which would also put a big emphasis on the voice, make the voice larger. Okay. Also, the 10th house of career and how people know you, Taurus. For Leo risings, Taurus is their 10th house, which is the voice. And a lot of singers have Leo rising because their career is based on them singing and using their voice a lot. So this also makes sense to me too. And also that would put his part of fortune, which is another indicator of what you should do in this life to really feel like you're enjoying what you do. As a lot of times as a career. He has that in Taurus, which also rules singing. Okay. So now in the whole sign chart, when we look at his career, I had to play around with the times a little bit, and it could be Gemini, but like I said, the whole sign would still apply. But with it being, he could have had Uranus in the 10th house, which means how everybody sees him is in a very Uranian way. And if you look back in time, like they didn't want to be like everybody else. The band Queen, they wanted to come out with things that are like out of this world, just a little bit outrageous and shocking in a way. I mean, look at the name of the band, Queen, and it's with all dudes. You know what I'm saying? And there's some things that could be insinuated by men being associated with the word queen as well, which back in the day was super controversial. And Uranus can rule controversy, Uranus in the 10th. I think even Prince had Uranus conjunct his midheaven. And look how controversial he was in his career and how he came out wearing some little panty drawers, underwears that are zebra stripes with boots. And that was his whole outfit. You know what I'm saying? Freddie Mercury, I don't think he went that far, but he was still very shocking and out there and unusual with what he wore when he first came out in the band. And also at first he was wearing painting his nails black and all that stuff. I believe that's because of Pluto. When Pluto was in Libra, that was in the 70s. So Pluto in the 70s was hitting up all his Libra planets. And, Pluto, it also rules the dark side, it rules the underworld, and like the color black could be associated with Pluto. So that could be why he had his style was a little bit more Plutonian and Scorpionic during that time. And then once Pluto moved out of Libra, he changed up his style, when it went into Scorpio in the early 80s. That's when he changed his style to like, he cut his hair and he was, just looked a little different. But during that Plutonian time, yes, Pluto could be very shocking as well. So it can like be controversial too. You know what I'm saying? So also, Pluto in Libra, that was a time when people were very, shall we say, very sexually liberated because Pluto does rule sexuality. Libra is about relationships and kind of, Libras just love to be connected with people and love partnership. And Libras tend to have a lot of different partners, okay? Because they always have to be with someone. They love to just be with people. So that's why during that time, there was free love, man. All that stuff was going on during, very strongly during Pluto and Libra. And with him having planets in Libra, he was very much like that. His peers said, you know what I'm saying? So Pluto was hitting all these planets during that time. And that's why. Okay. Now, also, I noticed that like he has the Saturn or Capricorn or 10th house cheekbones. And I was like, well, I don't think he's a Capricorn moon, but I think that's because he has I believe that's another indicator of the ascendant being Leo, because if we look at it in whole sign, Saturn would be in the sign of his ascendant. And a lot of people who have Saturn in the sign of their ascendant, they have really strong cheekbones, prominent cheekbones. So that's another indicator that he could be a Leo rising. So what else can we say about him? I mean, the Leo energy, the 5th house energy definitely is why he really put on these shows and had costumes and everything, and was very theatrical. That's the word I was looking for. He was about theatrics, you know. Michael Jackson even said that he was influenced by this guy. And I listened to interviews from Freddie, and he said that he and Michael Jackson, I think they were supposed to collaborate once upon a time, but it just never happened. They were both very busy during the 80s. But he said that they did, hang out and go to dinner and have conversations sometimes. But then Michael became a little bit more secluded, so they didn't really see each other very much after that. But if you notice, Michael Jackson also was about theatrics in a way. They had that similarity in their personality. And, yes, they were both Virgos, but Virgo is not the sign that rules that. Leo is. And Michael Jackson also had Leo energy. He has some planets in Leo too. So they were both Leo Virgos. So they probably saw each other in each other. And Michael Jackson even wore like the military type style outfits. And I attribute that to Saturn also. If Freddie has Saturn in Leo and he's a Leo rising, that could be like the military type of outfits too. So also here, to wrap things up, guys, because I feel my voice like going, telling me, okay, we've talked enough. Now, here's some interesting things about him. So this is the fixed star Regulus. And Regulus is one of those fixed stars that are one of the brightest. And some people that have it like conjunct their ascendant or, personal planet, they could really shine, okay? And he could possibly be, like I said, a late degree Leo rising and have Regulus conjunct the ascendant. Also, there's an asteroid named after him, Freddie Mercury. It's asteroid number 17473 to be exact. It was discovered in 1991. And unfortunately, that's the year that Freddie passed away. And but it was named in 2016, named after him. So look at this asteroid. He has it in his own chart at 3 degrees of Virgo, right in conjunction with his Mercury, which is 2 degrees of Virgo. Isn't that awesome? The name asteroids, they really get me, man. Like everything else in astrology totally makes logical sense to me, but the asteroids, I'm still like, wow, amazed by every time, like the name ones and how they match up. So that's where he has his own asteroid next to his Mercury. That's so dope, isn't it? And also, what else was I gonna show you guys? Oh, okay. So now looking at his passing, another reason why I feel like he could be a Leo rising is he actually, unfortunately, he contracted AIDS, the AIDS virus, and that's a virus that takes over your immune system, like it lowers your immunity. And I attribute that to the planet Neptune when people have lower immunity to things and their immune system is attacked, because Neptune dissolves. It can dissolve your vitality and it can dissolve boundaries. So the boundaries can actually be the boundary between yourself and invasive bacteria or viruses. So with that being said, excuse me, let's look at the whole sign chart. It'll interpret this a little bit better. The 8th house of death, he has it in Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by what? It's ruled by Neptune, okay? So that can be an indicator of, it being destined that his passing would have something to do with an invasive virus. That's very surface level though. But check this out. Excuse me, when he passed, I have the transits here of the day of his passing. Neptune and Uranus would have been in his 6th house. They were in the sign of Capricorn, and that's 6th from the sign of Leo. The 6th house is your health. I'm not saying, hey, if you have Neptune transiting your 6th house right now, don't think you're going to die, okay? There could be so many other factors involved with his passing. But I think this is a big one, though. A big obvious indicator is Neptune transiting through his 6th house of health, because that could have dissolved his vitality and his health. And Uranus here can be something suddenly and shockingly happening to you health-wise. And a lot of people discover that they have health issues when Uranus is in their 6th house as well. Excuse me. And the day that he passed, This ascendant actually may be right, you guys, because a lot of people sometimes pass away when the sun is in their fourth house. And I just I played around with the times and everything to fit, everything that was based on what he said about himself and what other people said about him. And that would, if his IC is like, it could be 1 degree Sagittarius, because his parents, they relocated from country to country a few times when he was growing up, and that's Sagittarius. And the sun was at 1 degree of Sag, and the day that he passed, and that could have been the sun conjunct your IC. I have seen in a lot of charts of people passing away that the sun was in their fourth or conjunct their IC when they passed away, because it's kind of a returning of home, which home is like, that could be your spirit returning home. I also noticed Jupiter was conjunct his sun when he passed. And for some reason, I've seen Jupiter transits, like Jupiter conjunct personal planets, or the day that people pass away. So, his sun is 11 degrees Virgo. Jupiter was at the 12th degree. So it was very close, And also Chiron was in Leo. And if he was indeed a Leo ascendant, and Chiron was conjunct Pluto. Pluto, it does rule death and transformation and everything. So that could have been Chiron in the sign of his ascendant, which sometimes a lot of people, when they go through this transit, they can go through health issues too, So that's my findings on Freddie Mercury's chart. I mean, I'm sure there's so much more, but I don't want to talk your ears off forever. I could go on and on and on with these third house transits I'm having right now, you guys. But I just found him to be a very interesting person. So I really appreciate you guys suggesting me to look at his chart. I'm looking forward to the movie coming out. I can't believe it's all the way in November that we have to wait to see it. But I definitely want to see it. Any biopics, I'm like all about them, all about the celebrity stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys see anything else in his chart that's interesting. And, of course, listen in the chat or in the comments below the video. So I'm going to peace out here, you guys, before I lose my voice completely. But, so somebody says he loved the planets. His favorite was Uranus. I don't know if that's a joke or if that's for real, but I know he was into somewhat of astrology. So, oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. You guys are such cool peoples. All right, guys. So thank you so much again for tuning in to my weekly astrology coffee talk. And I hope to see you guys next week. Don't forget to hit me up if you would like a reading. If you want me to look at your chart in detail, I would absolutely love to. The information will be below. astrolada.com is where you can find me. All right. So have a great weekend, you guys. Enjoy the sun in Cancer. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Much to you guys. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Peace.